Hello everyone, welcome on in and happy Monday. I hope everyone has had a great day and amazing weekend. I was having coffee on the balcony for the first time this year earlier today. It was amazing. But we are here today with the 30th episode of Rails of Mourning, the Eberron Noir campaign. And yeah, it's been 30 episodes already. It's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
I have cat hairs absolutely everywhere, so if I start itching my face, it's because something is tickling me. But that aside, music you're listening to right now is by Aaron Kenny. It's from the YouTube royalty-free library called a song called Black Cat. The overlay, starting soon screen, map, and this thing. The character sheets were made by me in
Incarnate.
Thank you, in Incarnate. I got distracted by Jason's comment in the chat. The amazing character art was made by Nat. Haha, got there first. You can find him over on his YouTube channel or Lillith, the Discord. There you go. Nope. But, you know, if you want to catch up with this campaign or any other TTRPG campaign or one-shot, you can head on over to our YouTube channel. And
okay.
My camera is being dumb again. That's better. Sound effects and music during the game will be by Sirenscape, and I'm missing something. Yes, if you want to see what you can do to help or hinder the party, you can always type in !perks in the chat. Yeah? And yeah, in our 8 coins for the Ferryman campaign, the party absolutely destroyed the Wandering Boss because they actually fight tactically, which is pretty cool. Hi, Tony!
Tony!
And you know, aren't too concerned about each other's safety because we nearly had some lightly fried fish fillets in that fight.
What do you mean? Safety is everything.
Safety third.
Yes, especially
safety third.
Especially when the bard casts fireball on top of the druid while shaped into a killer whale.
I'm not going to do that this time.
Technically, you should cast fireball at the big giant that was multi-handed. Very handy. And the whale was on top of...
Sounds like he was. Very handy.
Yeah, and the bard wasn't... No, the bard. And the druid and the rogue was on top of it, so of course!
It's called collateral.
Whoops. But that's neither here nor there. Well, that's not this campaign. In this campaign, however, we have some amazing players. So let's go around the table and introduce everyone. And let's start with Andy. Who are you and who are you playing?
I'm Andy, and today and any other session really, I will be portraying the slightly deranged illusionist wizard Craren. And today's, let's call it a factoid, is that the first oranges were green. Oranges in their origin came from Southeast Asia and were green, which is why the Swedish word for it, apelsin, which is Apel sinensis, which means apple from China. There you go. And even today in Vietnam and Thailand, they are green through maturity. So orange is actually a later invention, and the word orange comes from the fruit, not the other way around. In the 1400s, fizzle meant to break wind quietly, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, something I had to dig up. And another factoid is that movie trailers were originally played after the movie. Ergo the name trailer, because it trailed after the movie. The first one appeared in 1913 and was for a Broadway show, not a movie. And last but not least, the brain is the texture of soft butter.
I knew that one.
All right. Lillith, who are you? Who are you playing?
Is that why my brain is melting?
Possibly.
It might not be that's why your brain is melting. It might be that your brain is melting that is leading to the other bits. It might be reverse causative. Post hoc ergo propter hoc.
I am not comprehending this at the moment.
After this, therefore, because of this.
Hi, I'm Lillith, or Lily, or Lils. I will be playing Flo. Yes, and Flo. The bark of the party.
Both.
One of the bark of the party. That is most likely gonna get very, very, very scolded today.
Oh no.
Yeah, for those who are wondering, I've been living in under the same roof as Andy for the past 19 years.
Oh no.
I do these things daily, and more specifically, nightly. Before bed.
Yeah.
Or while in bed, it's like, hi, I was thinking about this thing, and then 3 hours pass.
Please don't tell me it's gonna sit next to the sofa while I'm sleeping and telling me this shit. I'm gonna be brain dead.
But you will be enlightenedly brain dead.
I think you might be doing it wrong, because if you're in bed with a beautiful woman, I don't think you should be necessarily triviaing at her.
No, but I would be in the sofa. That's different.
Moving on, so we don't get sidetracked. Again, Terris.
Are you assuming we're on track?
No, not
even
given
this campaign.
No. So Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. Today I'll be playing the albino drow bard Oren Weaver. And I did have a factoid for you. Kangaroos are left-handed.
Oh no.
All right.
Yes.
What do you call a left-handed lemon?
An orange.
Yes.
I knew that one.
Mm-hmm. But why? But without spoiling, do you know why? You remember why?
I can't remember why. I got this off of a TV show called QI.
Yes.
I cannot remember. It was a while ago. You know the show as well?
Yes.
Yes, I love QI.
QI is
I
brilliant.
watch it every time it's on TV. I'm like, yay! I'm stupid.
Chirality is a thing.
Yes, QI is really good.
But yes, chirality. There you go. It's the same molecule that makes things. Left-handed chirality, right-handed chirality. One makes a lemon and one makes an orange.
I've been re-enlightened.
Okay, that's fair.
Does that mean the kangaroo is never right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Psycole.
Polar bears. They're also left-handed.
Kitty.
Hi, I'm Psycole, and this is Atty. Today I will be playing Rimmerstall Dawn, and this one will be biting my feet.
I love.
And Nathan.
Hello, I am Nathan. I play Romulus Dawn, the Clashar Hexblade Warlock, who is the second Bork of the party, and I have some multiple facts. Kangaroo related, first one. Did you know that the kangaroo's tail functions as a third leg? That was also in an episode of QI.
Yes.
What have I got here?
So they are
dolphin.
also handy.
No, they're legless. Leggy. leggy, not leg, not any of those words. Whatever.
Dolphins have names for each other. Bananas are radioactive. Koalas have fingerprints. That was also an episode of QI. And crocodiles cannot poke their tongues out.
They also can't open their mouths if you sit on them.
That is also true.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't
Have you-
recommend
M&Ms
just
were
walking
the
up
first
to a
candy
crocodile, considering that they can snap their jaws faster than the human eye can perceive.
They have a really strong bite force, but they don't have it. Like even an elastic band can
So
stop them
in
from opening.
2002, I was in South
They're only
Africa
hinged one way.
at this farm where they breed crocodiles for ethical crocodile skin production. That's what they call
They
it.
eat the meat because
It's-
the meat is delicious.
It is.
Oh yeah, crocodile is really good. It tastes so good. I don't like the texture because it's like chewing on plastic, but
Oh, then they've cooked it wrong. But yes.
probably they barbecued everything in the place I tried it. But we went to this farm where they breed crocodiles for skin, like the crocodile skin production, to save wild crocodiles from poaching.
So we breed it and kill it anyway.
Yeah, some of them they release into the wild because what they do is that any female that gets too big to breed in captivity, they just release into the wild.
I'm sure that's not going to cause issues.
Well, their big issue is that a female will not breed with a male that's smaller than her. So when they're males, well, when the females get too big, they release them into the wild, so that
To fuck bigger males.
yes, to find bigger males, which gives the smaller males in their captivities, or in their well, the smaller males, they have a chance to breed. And I have this photo from there where they were feeding one of the crocodiles chicken, and like you can't see it; it's just blur. Because as soon as like they lowered the chicken in, it was gone. It was faster than the human, like faster than you could blink. It was just gone.
Off stream, I should probably tell you guys about my very first encounter with a wild crocodile.
Yeah, I have never.
I'm concerned that you said we should do this off stream.
Yes. So.
Never going to Australia.
Oh, I really want to go to
live.
Australia. I've been to Southern Africa and I didn't get sick. Well, that's not really a lie, but that's kind of a lie. I didn't get horribly sick. We went through the Okavango Delta, and when we got to Durban, I came back down with a 38 degrees fever for about 2 days, between 38 and 39. And I was like, oh, great, I have malaria. But it's just a thing my body does. So, you know.
We can go to England. It's more safe.
No. Lillith, you're coming to Australia. Don't worry, I'll keep you safe.
I was scared enough when I believe it was Sorcerer's Cove that I won things from.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared there's gonna be a spider in there.
I mean, we have Black Widows in Sweden now. That's fun.
Why?
Oh yeah,
we have
yeah,
we have
people
them too.
check their luggage when they get back.
We've also got false widows.
Mm-hmm.
I keep the second most deadly spider in the world as a pet. I do not have a Newcastle big boy, but I do have Sydney funnel webs.
Yeah, I was not happy when they declared they found an even deadlier, bigger spider in Australia.
Yeah, the Newcastle big boy. I really want a couple.
Yeah, I was like, when I saw that, I'm like, yep, nope, I am not going there. Never.
The one thing I'm concerned about when it comes to going to Australia is the firebombing birds.
I've not encountered one in the wild. Like, you'll be fine.
Don't forget the drop bears.
Or, you know...
drop bears, just be careful if you're in the spring about magpies. That's all you've got to worry about.
Or, you know...
Even the magpies will kill you?
Magpies are nasty.
If you go near their nests, they will dive bomb you and peck your head, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, now that our
Unless you befriended
resident recapper is back.
If only I had a brain.
Yes. Could we, anyone want to give us, or, Psycole want to give us a recap? Or anyone else while
Sure.
Psycole's eating?
Last time we finished off murderizing some cultists. There was some rather interesting use of Elos using confusion to try and kind of clump them all together. Romulus decided to, and I apologize, Nat, unleash his Spectre as a guard dog. Craren decided to melt someone's face off. Oren tried to adopt some new pets as the dogs. Flo attempted to convert a number of the cultists to lycanthropy, and then eventually just decided to kill them all anyway. Durin lost control at least one point and went into berserker mode, and then Remus nearly attempted to shot him into what? Sorry?
Wasn't that bird Zerker mode?
Bird Zerker mode, yes, exactly. Remus was going to attempt to cage him within the cave that he was in, but he managed to gain control, and Flo got left behind when everyone started moving towards stuff to talk to Durin, and Flo made everyone other than the party aware that she is possibly playing both sides and or up to something that we may or may not need to confront at some point in the future, which includes the creation of some sort of pack, I think. But anyway, we will get back to that at some point, I'm sure, given that Romulus is a member. We use an opportunity to speak to the Spectre of one of the creatures, where we find out that there are some more Silver Flame locations dotted around all over the place, including their main base seeming to be underneath the crag itself, where their chief is currently based. We were informed that they believed that they were fighting an evil alongside the Daughters, but we may or may not be the case. We found some loot, and then we had a chat with Durin, who basically told us that he was the head of the Were Ravens and the military police of Drome, and the information that we provided from the Spectre kind of was unknown to him at that point in time, and I think that was broadly where we got to. Oh no, hold on. We think Oren overplayed his hand trying to convince Durin that Flo is the only werewolf here, and therefore he probably is fully aware that Romulus is also a werewolf, and Flo may or may not be getting some chastised about that in the future. And Craren was particularly impressed with Durin's interpretation of the law and how flexible he can be in its enforcement. And I believe Craren is simping for Durin at this precise moment. That was broadly where we left off.
So that was a sentence. There you go.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh dear.
I mean, yeah. Alright, yep, you can have a point of inspiration. If you have it, you can bounce it to someone else.
I have it so it can bounce.
Give me. Pretty please.
It's like, save me.
Flo can have.
Yay, Flo can have. Yes.
Please, my son, he's very sick.
All right.
I have concerns.
We have all the concerns. Well, if we are all as comfortable as we are going to get, let's get started. The caves are so quiet now, like the absence of voices has become a sound on its own. You can almost hear the echoes of metal on bone and the grinding of leather on stone. Each swing of your hammer brought down another burst of destruction on them, the last one making the cave ceiling release a rain of rocks and gravel. Your muscles still sing with the strain, Remus, and the voices of your companions are muffled in the pounding of adrenaline through your system. No one even tried to stop your blows. No one has told you to stay your swings, not like when you were in with the blade marks. Sure, Flo is a bit of a softie until the fighting starts. Cryan might want to investigate things first and Oren talk things out, but when your hammer starts falling, they back you up. Their familiar voices now mingle with a new one, unknown. Another mission completed. A warm embrace breaks through your musings. A cinnamon-scented breath wafts across your cheek. No words are uttered, yet you can feel their meaning. No one is standing next to you as you look around, yet that soft vibration of a presence is purring in your ear, praising you for what happened here. What do you do?
He will kind of. I will lean into the presence slightly,
Alright.
and just kind of savor the moment of being unleashed and having loads of heads to smash in and ribs to break.
You feel that odd sensation. It's almost like it's kind of familiar in the same way as letting go to the rage is familiar. It's tinged with that kind of fire, tingling, feeling a little bit like sunlight on your skin on a hot day. And still wordless, still odd, still just not a voice per se, but you can feel the what's the word for it? Let's go with no. You can feel like this meaning come through, and just no fire this time, but still adequate destruction.
Oh dear.
I do keep forgetting about the fact that there was this weird presence that turns up on many images. I have to keep reminding. Sorry.
It's quite fascinating to see someone just give in like that. It's fun, isn't it?
It kind of murmurs a yes.
It's interesting. Of the two of you, I can only hear you.
My brother has often been otherwise occupied.
No, even from the start. Perhaps that's how that works, I don't know.
Maybe.
I've only been... Nah, that's not the right word. I like you. You're fun.
Thanks.
Don't worry, I'm not a demon or a ghoul. I don't want your soul.
Not overly bothered if you were.
I don't know what this is.
Well, from what we've been told, maybe you're our linked spirit.
That is possible, yes. I guess we'll have to
I'm sure.
find out.
Yes. And in the meantime, we get to have some fun.
Indeed. I just wanted to let you know that. Keep up the good work.
Well, with this group, I feel my services are often needed.
Yes. Well, whatever you choose, I will not stop or force you anywhere.
Just good to know. But if you have any suggestions on things to do or see or places to go whilst you're bound to me in some way, particularly ones that may enlighten us into your presence, why not?
I have memories of large stone buildings, but I'm not sure where they are. I have memories of walking through jungles and soaring above mountain ranges. But I don't know where those are. Perhaps in the future we can find answers.
Yes. And in the meantime, I'll keep this light out of trouble.
Unlikely.
I mean, fair.
To be fair, I think there's at least 2 or 3 fights where Remus has started it.
Yes.
Potato, potato.
I said
Hey.
unlikely.
He finishes them.
Like I said, I like the work you do. Just don't get killed in the process.
I don't say it's a deal, but I don't necessarily intend to die anytime soon.
I shall endeavor to help you in that.
Excellent. Now, I think I need to see an elf about a dog. Or two.
You do that, and I'll be there the next time you let your glorious anger take over. All right.
Oh no.
And you feel that presence fade a little bit. Like it's not immediately there, but you can still sense that it is not that far away.
Nice.
All right. I mean, what?
Nothing.
All right. Meanwhile, I think. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, this is happening. I don't remember who was talking to Durin about what the Spectre said, but I think it was Remus.
It could have been Romulus.
It could have been either of them. He's
Well, yeah, it was probably Remus. So everyone just sees Remus kind of blank out slightly whilst he's doing his mental communication.
yeah.
And then hopefully Romulus takes over.
Seeing...
Because I wasn't here to this time.
Wait, what?
But so what they found out from the Spectre was just that there are several like enclaves throughout Droam of the Servants of the Pure Flame, and their headquarters, so to speak, is located under the Great Crag, which is the capital of this nation.
Big bad.
And Durin, I think one of the last things we did was Durin just the kind of a laser focus an animal can get when you're holding something of great interest to them. Durin basically just turned that to stare at whoever was talking, because I honestly don't remember if it was Romulus or Remus. But I do remember that you mentioned that you couldn't get any more information than that out of the Spectre because the Spectre didn't know.
Yes, and then I do actually believe that someone asked Craren if he could speak with Dead. It may have been Flo.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And I think because so while Durin has that extreme focus on Romulus, you're pretty close together. You see him just smell the air again and then look over to Flo, and because you're standing pretty damn close, he's just gonna take a step over the body of the cultist on the ground and then just cock his head a little bit, lean closer to Flo, and just sniff the air. Just, what did you do?
And you can just see her ears drop. And you can tell that she's making herself as small as possible.
Well,
You see, there was this demon and a holy sword. There's a sword and it was holy flames and I was werewolf and I panicked
Flo?
and
What?
he was in
Flo?
the flames
Well,
and I
well,
dragged him out and I had teeth.
see, so while she's like doing that, I just pipe up, say she saved me. That's what she did. I was down. I was near some fire, which was getting
Holy
close to me,
fire.
and holy fire, might I add. And it was creeping towards me, and she got me out of the way. I'm very thankful for that.
See,
And my teeth might have just been a little bit. Sorry.
if you were in my faction, I would have had you locked up for that for a while. As you're
What
not
was that? Locked up?
Yes.
Mm.
The main thing about the Phaela is that we do not bite people who are not to be included in our ranks.
Well, to be fair, she didn't mean to bite. She was just dragging him away. And if she hadn't, he probably would have died. So I think that, what's a little bit of lycanthropy between friends, mate? You know?
You see, Durin is kind of hunched over a little bit, looking at Flo, and then he turns his head to look behind first to Romulus and then back to Oren, and is. I shall not call you that again. That is insulting. What was your name again?
Me? Oren.
Oren, do you know what it takes to cure lycanthropy?
A bit of a lot, I'm sure.
Yes.
But no clue.
You need the components to remove a curse. You need the blood of the sire. And you need to wait until the new moon of Olarun.
Right.
Because that is the only time it will take. In this case, should, and he looks to Romulus again, him want to get rid of this, we have to deal with a fledgling werewolf during the 5-day full moon. Before we can do that.
We'll be right.
You say that you can't bite anyone who isn't among your ranks of Blood Hunter.
General rule. Trying to
Okay.
keep the pure flame bitches off our tails.
Understandable, I don't like them either. What would it take to become part of the ranks? Because I do not like these people at all. And if I can play a part in dealing with this threat, I'll play it. And considering what we've all done here today.
Oh, you did masterful work here.
I mean, my mom made it into it.
True. When I said lifting the curse of lycanthropy, if we were to lift hers, and he points to Flo, that would be a lot more involved. Because she was born werewolf.
And she looks very. She still has her ears very like far down. You can even see the tail is kind of between her legs a little bit. You're also the first one that I actually didn't get rid of because mostly people in. And she looks at Durin, being like, they're afraid of what or what lycanthropy, my kind of lycanthropy will do with people, because apparently I was and you can see that she drops even more, kind of like a wild beast the first times I transformed. I still believe, and she looks at Durin even more. I still believe he is mad at me still for biting his arm, isn't he?
No, not really. Would I have liked if you hadn't used me as a chew toy? Yes. Am I glad you bit me and not someone you could actually hurt? Also yes. The thing is, most, and I say this with as much respect I have as I can muster for the others. There are 4 commanders of the of this order of blood hunters. As far as I know, there are other orders of blood hunters out there. We don't really associate with them, but if there's only one of us you cannot actually harm. As if you bite him, if you scratch him, he is just gonna slap you over the head and move on. So, and that is my dear friend Yaffe. He's the oldest of us, and he's probably the one who's going to be training the pup. And it points to Romulus. Because
What?
Sorry, what?
What flavor of lycanthrope is he?
He's a werepanther.
And you can see her ears drop more, and she just remembers chewing on this man's hand every time.
Yes.
That she changed, and every time she sees him, she just remembers him pointing at his hand.
Yeah.
And there's like, it's like you can see the bite marks still, because it did become scars, and it's like small, bigger, and bigger. And she's like, are you sure that Jaffe is a good choice?
Well, it's either Jaffe or Jerica.
And you can see her tail go even further up. I think Jaffe's fine. I think Jaffe's just good.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, who's this other one?
Jerica is the commander of the werewolves.
Ah.
She is the youngest of us, and she did not get that position for being nice.
Noted.
She
Challenge
has...
accepted, mate.
You can see it just Flo being like shaking and thinking of what Jerica would do if she finds out, and she's like, please don't tell Jerica.
I have no reason to. You're no longer officially part of her troop. She has no reason to know. Which is also why I'm asking Jaffe.
If Jerica did find out, would Flo be in trouble?
Big trouble. Big trouble.
Yes, probably. Well, I don't want to spill too many of your secrets, though. But Jerica did kind of banish Flo from the Blood Hunters.
So what you're saying is this Jerica needs a smack on the nose because she's a bad papa.
And Durin looks at Yoren and then just laughs. I would love to see you try.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Now, Jerica is tiefling werewolf.
Ah, terrible.
I like these guys, Flo.
And you can see that she looks a little bit like disheartened and sad because she's like, and she even has horns when she transforms, and you can tell that Flo is really sad because she doesn't.
Aw.
Oh yeah.
I'll send Ilios over to her to comfort.
Yes. I think Flo actually took after some of Jerica's traits, specifically the ram attack. Well, once your ribs get cracked a couple of times by an angry werewolf, you step out of the way. Alright, you want to join our ranks?
Yes.
Could probably get that arranged. There are a few things we need to fix first. Mainly, should probably let Soramania know that I am still alive. In case she even cares. Should tell her about the lair under the crag. How's it going with that stew? Looks at Orin again.
It's pretty much done. Just gonna add some finishing touches and it'll be good.
Sounds amazing. And I'm assuming none of you can actually fly. All right.
No, I cannot.
Well, I will be enjoying your cooking. And then I'm setting off for Thrakelorn first and then the crag. So we need to find those bastards under the crag. And I think, as much as he's a pain in the ass, quite literally, I need to talk to the were-rat.
And you can see Flo being happy because she loves him.
I can speed you up a bit if you'd like.
Speed you up?
Yeah, speed you up a bit if you like for about an hour.
I
I've
welcome
still got
everything.
some juice in me. Yeah. Come to me after lunch and I'll whack a bit of long strider on you.
Right. Dark hairs have not said a whole lot and looks over to Cryon.
I feel I don't have too much to say.
I like that. Well, since we're apparently going to see some more of each other going forward. If you come to the Great Crag, Flo can take you probably where both the rat and the kitty cat is.
I'm gonna tell Jaffia that you called him a kitty cat again.
I don't need that. Okay, fine. It's sugar hurdle seed. It's so annoying. Do you know how hard it is for me to not... Never mind. Not chase her tail when he turns into a panther. I honestly don't know where Jerica is. She's probably chasing down the Dark Pack again, trying to get some new recruits. But
what's the Dark Pack?
Ferals.
wild
okay.
werewolves. Or were
Cool.
people.
Yes.
A lot of them.
Lycanthropes who don't want to follow the rules and live by their own.
That's fair.
We tend to recruit from them from time to time. When we
Yeah.
can.
It usually doesn't go well.
No, it does not. But shock troops can be nice. Hi.
Hi.
I have a cat right there, staring
Aw.
at me.
Edie.
Want to be in camera?
Well,
Well,
no.
if food is ready, I am hungry.
It's ready.
Awesome. And yeah, Durin's gonna shug his coat on again, and you see it shimmers just slightly in the fire from the cooking. Yeah.
Yeah. So once he's done eating, Oren will use his last spell slot that he's got to
Alright.
second level long stride him
Mhm.
and one other person. So who wants it? Who wants an extra 10 feet of movement speed for an hour?
Oh, go on then.
Sumis.
All right.
Yep.
So after dinner, Durin gets long stridered up and he steps outside the cave, stretches a bit. You can hear joints creaking a little bit, but he seems a lot happier after having, food. You see him bend forward slightly, and with like a crackling and popping of joints and ligaments, the rather large elven form turns into this small raven, and he sets off.
Hi, Durin. Fly safely.
Yes, Remus.
Remus will ask the question, where do all the other bits of him go when he shrinks down that?
I don't know.
Magic, I
can't
guess.
become small, so I don't know.
Does he have a gallbladder already, or does he develop one when he changes? Not a gallbladder. Is it a gallbladder that birds have?
No, the lungs.
I mean, humans also have a gallbladder.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
no. So birds, their lungs expand into their bones. Sort of.
Oh.
Question is, does he have a coagulant or whatever it is?
Yeah.
In his human form. Does he lay eggs in his human? Yes.
I mean, who knows? Maybe that's why he's
Well-
not interested in anything.
Well, he's a male, and I hate to tell you that male birds don't lay eggs, so he probably doesn't lay eggs in his human form because he's a boy.
Well, they still shit out the same hole.
Yeah, they do, I guess.
Hi.
Yeah.
I turn to Flo and say, well, that went well.
And you can just see her after Durin is out of the picture. She gets down on her knees and she just cries. And ears are down, and you can see the tail between her legs, and she's shaking.
It's okay. It's okay. Like, Elios is here as well. Okay. That went
If
really
this
well.
was Jerica, I would have been beaten.
Well,
wouldn't have
luckily
let
it's not.
that happen.
I don't think any of us would have, but luckily it wasn't.
And she looks up. You can tell that she's like puppy-eyed, very sorry. Like her lips kind of like trembling, and she's like, I am so sorry, Jeff. Jeffy's gonna use you as a rag.
If it means that I can control my werewolf form, then it has to be done. It's okay.
Player question.
Yes.
Would you allow Craren to look closer, in this commotion, look closer at Flo casting Detect Thoughts?
It's up to. I mean, it's not technically an attack, but it's up to.
No, it
Lillith.
isn't. It isn't. It isn't even an attack. Even if you probe deeper, it's a save at that point.
Yeah, but no, it's up to Lillith really. If
Yeah, you can detect thought, and you can basically tell she is terrified of Jaffe. She's honestly terrified.
Oh no.
all right, then I can
If he
actually
like looks at memories, he can basically see like a small werewolf just like biting onto a very big man's arm, and he's basically just like ripping her off, from having her by the scruff, and just like do the flick on her nose, and she's just like going around like a crazy puppy, and he's like basically like, no, you're not allowed to. And you can just tell that she's terrified of this person.
me grab basically what you would see in her thoughts, because I have an image here somewhere. There it is. Now I can actually show it up somewhat. Let's put that in all players. There we go.
Ooh.
There you go. Where you go?
He reminds me of the guy from The Mummy,
Yes.
the original one.
So in the handouts at the bottom of your thing, there should be a that says Jaffe ni. I have spelled that wrong. Let me edit that. Jaffe Niharian.
Oh, at the bottom of that. That's like 20 entries from the bottom.
That's fair.
It's near the top of the handouts.
Yeah. Never mind. Sorry.
That was years ago when I sent you that picture.
Yep. I just found it again. I was like, hello.
So you will see this massive guy just basically like, no, you're not allowed to bite, you're not allowed to do this, and basically just like, sometimes even using like a water bottle or like just a bucket and like, no.
And Craren feels that Flo is honest about things. It just feels that upping and leaving without essentially mentioning anything and just going, oh, interesting, I'm out. That's out of place. It doesn't sit well with Craren. Planning things is interesting. Having understanding organization is interesting. But upping and leaving without reason, for someone being a commander, that is going against order. And going against order is out of the ordinary, and Craren doesn't approve of this.
Where did I put the name of his panther? So the panther in that image is Jaffe's friend.
Is that a euphemism?
No.
Is it?
Think ranger companion. But I can't find her name right now.
Hey,
oh, there it
Craren.
is.
Yes, Oren.
If you had to be a lycanthrope, what flavor would you be?
That's an odd question. I haven't thought about it. Do you have anything in mind for yourself?
I don't think what I'd want exists, but I wouldn't mind being a were-scorpion.
A were-scorpion? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do elaborate, please.
I mean, it depends on the size I am, but, sneaky, armored, with a little bit of sting. Sounds about
I like
right.
how you think. I like how you think.
As I think he pulls out his baby scorpion and has it crawling over his knuckles. Yeah,
Yeah,
just like Pierce.
For those of
Getting
you
it done.
For those of you who are outside seeing Durin off, you would also have noticed, like, as the raven flies off, a gaggle of 5 hounds on your cart. Sniffing,
A gaggle, nonetheless.
Being friendly with your mules, and no handler in sight.
Oh. What of the two that we incapacitated?
They have started waking up while you were eating. Where's the... Oh, can't see shit. That's why. While you were eating, they started waking up and a tiny little bit distressed. Mostly like trying to get out of the...
Have a chat with them?
You would have...
Yes, Remus. So when they started to wake up, Remus would have gone over and started to soothe them and just look. I know that this is upsetting, but this is for your own good. We didn't want to hurt you, and I'm hoping that you would be willing to come along with us once we've had a nice chat with Sasha outside as well. Your former masters are deceased. But we still have some treats, and we enjoy animal company. And so, yes, you would be more than welcome to join us. And I think I would be remiss to say that Oren would love you around here. And I will point out Oren.
Yeah, as he sort of waves at the puppers. There's leftover stew in the pot.
This one looks around and looks over, sees Crier, and just shrinks. Scary elf.
I mean, you mean as a memory?
Yes, because the fear would have faded, but the last thing this dog saw before going night-night was an extremely scary person.
Yes, that is true.
So basically just shrinks in on himself and he's scary.
He isn't that bad once you get to know him.
Sure.
Now, are you going to be good? And I take the muzzle off, and then maybe you can have some stew, and maybe we can go outside and find some Sasha and the others.
Yeah.
Why? Indeed, why? I like stew.
You like disco stew? Okay, I'm sorry.
You.
I'm dying.
You
Remus, sorry.
You promise that one's not scary?
Yes, and look, I'll even get him to bring your stew over for you. Claret, could you bring 2 portions of stew over, please? and apologise to this one that you scared earlier. What are your names?
Where did I put? I actually put names down for them because I knew you would ask.
Yes, you did.
Please
And we
tell me his
did last
name is
session.
Boris or something.
No, these two you didn't ask.
Oh, the outside waffles?
Yeah, you know the names of the outside waffles. These were regarding the water supply.
Water whiffs.
Actually, there's one waffle outside that we don't know because we only met Sasha in this room. We didn't know who the accompaniment of Sasha was. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm Pacey, and that's Leo.
Paisley.
Pacey.
As in
walk a
Pacey.
lot. Walk a lot.
Oh, Pacey and Leo. Okay. And I will share the names with the party. And I'll say to Crowd, can you bring some stew for Pacey, please?
Naturally, of course. Do we have an outside view of things? We're still in the cave?
You're still in the cave. The other 4 dogs are outside with Romulus and Flo. The rest of you are still inside.
Anyway, I better go get Sasha, and I'll leave you two with these two. They'll look after you. Get your stew. Make sure you're happy.
Yep.
And I'll be back in a minute. And I'll start walking away and leave Oren and Craren so I can go outside and talk to the others.
Oren is aggressively patting Puppers now.
Because you're going outside for the ICECREAM. That's the kind of vibe you sent off to me right now.
Sorry, my brain isn't working. What?
I love it though. Please bring more of it. Oh, it's amazing.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
No, you know what parents do. You know this event. Let's go for some ICECREAM. Yeah, the spelling out things. It's like, yeah, you did essentially that. When hi, here, you have some stew for the things while I go out. You ate this. No.
Yes.
Much like when you catch a child that have fallen over, and it's like, yeah, if you catch them just before they start to crying, before they realize they're hurt, it's like, yeah, oh yeah, this is amazing. I like that.
So yeah.
Yes.
And if they attack you too.
I mean,
and I'm fully aware that
Asshole.
Oren's at like 4 HP.
Asshole.
Yes. Well, the 2 dogs are currently being aggressively patted by Oren and munching on some stew. Pacey is keeping an eye on Craren the entire time, just a little bit shrunken in on himself. Every time you move, dog twitches a little bit, but seems to relax after a short while. And when he realizes that you're not immediately going to do something scary.
Who helps heal all wounds. At least mental ones.
Stew is amazing.
Yes. Remus, as you get outside, you also see that there are 4 large mastiffs on your cart being friendly with the mules and no dog handler in sight.
Oh no.
Are the horses still here?
Yes.
They're ours too.
It looks like we're going to be forming an animal sanctuary.
How
Yes.
unusual.
I feel like adding 1 or 2 creatures to the party isn't too bad. Adding a pack of 6 dogs and 2 horses, whilst we've already got 3 mules at the same time, and is
No. We have 2 mules and a freak.
We have 3 mules.
Yes.
Anyone is
Yes.
free.
It does give me some cause of concern that the handler isn't here. So unless he's dead for some reason, he might have gone to warn people.
Well, why don't you two sniff him out?
Okay.
And she will
Remus-
start sniffing.
Remus is annoyed at Romulus.
Oh no.
What do I do now, brother?
He's just annoyed that you've pled like he only came. He left blade marks because you called for him for help, and you are pledging yourself to every fucking cause up and down this country as we go. He's beginning to wonder whether or not coming to see you was a good idea.
I'm turning over and you like I'm no longer like I don't want to be a prison person anymore. I want to do good for people. It's part of my rehabilitation.
Yes. I get
Continuous
that.
murderizing people. Yes, that's a rehabilitation.
Murderizing
In
bad
contrast to
people.
what?
You only pledged yourself to the lady on the crossroads. We've declassified your sword, and now you're pledging yourself to the blood hunters.
I'm gonna have such a complicated character.
And I do not mean this in any way offensively, fellow. You have cursed yourself with a rare transformation.
And you can see Flo hearing this just drop her ears and start crying again.
Yeah, it's
I am
okay. It's
so
okay. It's
sorry.
okay. It's okay. It's fine. You're fine. It's okay.
Enos is very happy right now.
I won't save anyone from flames anymore.
Good. Anyway, I'm going to get the dogs. And they'll kind of march off, having just exploded at Romulus.
All right.
It's like,
No. Siblings, am I right?
yes!
I mean, much as I don't like my
casually.
sister, at least she's not a werewolf.
I mean, what was that? What was that again? I shall purify you in flame, whore of nightmare.
I'm.
In my defense, my brother is a raging dragon thing. Me being a werewolf is like
You're saying it's a bad dragon?
No, not at all. No, oh. No, it clicked now. Ha ha ha.
I like how everyone waited for him to understand.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, it took me a second.
I will still never forget when I made a similar joke with Thomas from One for All in the thing we did for a children's charity, and he was basically the only one who got it. Long story.
I need to get a bad dragon mug for work.
Yes.
It's such a power move. It's that no one can say anything. No one. Those who know can't say anything, and those who don't know,
Well, they don't know.
they don't know.
But yes, so Remus walking up to the cart, you see Sasha and the other 3 dogs just having a good time. Sasha is just moving around the legs of the mules. The mules don't really look too happy about the whole situation.
does Elam look happy?
Elam is kind of looking like he's like, the weird things, dogs, go away. As much as a
Flo-
mule's face can express that emotion.
Yeah, Flo is basically just holding on to poor Romulus, being like, I am so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll figure this
I
out. I'm gonna get
promise
training.
anyone from flames. I won't nibble anyone. I won't
It's
touch
okay. You're
anyone.
okay. You're okay. It's fine. I'm grateful you saved me.
Rima
Not a problem.
hates me.
It's okay. It's
Okay,
okay.
Remus will hear this as well because she's not quiet about it. She's like basically just like holding on for dear life.
Just pat on it. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's had a meow behind me.
Yeah, walking up to the dog, Sasha will look up to you and just, oh, treats? Didn't find any rabbits. You got treats?
Wow. I'm sure there are some treats in this cart somewhere. But more importantly, there is stew inside if you fancy some.
Stew.
And your friends, Pacey and Leo, are currently having some as well.
Oh, they get stew, we don't?
Well,
No.
I was coming out to invite you in. I should say, before you go inside, there is a lot of dead people inside. And we are the only people that are left standing, other than my two elf friends. And we hope that you would like to join us for some food.
Dead?
Dead. Permanently asleep.
Wait, but if you're not the only alive, Master's dead?
Yes.
Oh. So you won't wake up?
No.
But... Why though?
Why don't you come inside and say goodbye? Have some stew. And we can discuss this more in the morning.
Okay, alright, okay. Stew is good though, but... Ah, got something in my... Ouch.
Dogs
DM is secret.
rather
DM is
deeply
secretly
mourn
crying
things.
because we just killed the dog's master.
Don't you scratch this.
But no,
Sorry,
dogs
that's it, I'll
rather
count
deeply
later.
mourn things. They do.
And yeah, they're gonna follow you inside, Remus. But stop, like, sniff the first one. That is currently, like, face down in the creek. And then move on into the other room.
Mm-hmm.
And Sasha is moving up to where Declan lies, bopping her head on him and just... But... Why?
Puppy.
Why though? There's blood. Why?
Why? Is there blood? Was that?
Yes.
Your master does not permit all people to live.
That's...
And although we did not intend to kill everybody here, they prefer that lycanthropes do not exist. And unfortunately, Flo here, and my brother, Romulus, I lycanthropes.
Brother. It's Pack, yes. You were...
Yes, of a sort.
You were...
And,
Littermate, yes.
yes, much better. Littermate. And, unfortunately, well, at least for me, and those that I normally come across, when I start fighting, it tends to mean lots of people get killed. And a bit like you would probably have protected your master if you had not been in this room. I protect my friends, and if they do not wish to, someone does not wish to keep one of them alive, I will normally leap to their defense quite quickly.
Yes, you do that. You defend littermates and Pack.
Exactly. And one of the reasons why I did trick you about finding some rabbits outside was because we did not want to harm you or put you in a situation where you would have to defend your pack and your master.
Sasha's lost littermate. I understand. Master was good though.
Well, although Master was good to you, he wasn't good to everybody. And so we wanted to make sure that you were not caught in the crossfire, so to speak. Sent you outside, and now we're hoping to bring you back inside to enjoy a meal. And in probably about 30 minutes or so, hopefully decide whether or not you wish to stay with us, because I don't know whether or not I can do this spell again today.
Oh, magic. Sasha
Yes.
cannot... Master did magic things. A lot. Sasha cannot do
Yes.
magic.
Well, Oren and Romulus and Craren tend to do a lot of magic-y things, and I primarily do a lot of hitty things, and Flo likes to bite and scratch things. And occasionally I can spend some time and use, at least in part, my connection with nature and my spirit guide to talk with other animals and other creatures.
You talk well. For... You look human. Don't smell human. You smell...
My brother and I are something called Kalashtar.
Don't know that one.
It means I can do things like this, and I stop speaking out loud and start talking into Sasha's head instead.
Oh!
Because she is a creature, and we don't have to share a language. And I just remembered that, so I don't have to speak with animals anymore.
Technically, she also has an intelligence of 3. So I'm not sure it works.
Yes. Well, I think it is just a case of you can connect with any creature. Let me double check.
Yep. Because I know telepathy needs an intelligence of 4 or higher, but...
Yeah, like detect thoughts does the same with intelligence of 3. So yeah, there are a number of them that do have a requirement, but not all of them. One of them, I think, I don't remember, but I think that one specifically is like if it has a language.
Yes, if it has a language.
Yeah, she is not smart enough to actually have a language, but I'm gonna say that while you have speak with animals, you can start the link. Once the speak with animals drops, you would notice that the more, for lack of a better word, yeah, it reverts from words to just concepts and feelings.
Yeah. Yes. So my brother and I can do this. Although if he were to do the same, he would probably only be able to provide impressions and thoughts and emotions to you rather than words. I have to combine the magic with the communication.
You're in my head.
And then he starts speaking out loud. And
No, you're not in my... What?
I can't hear you. I don't think your mic's picking you up.
Come on, Mike. Microphone.
There you go.
There you go. All right. You're in my head. Then you are not.
Yes.
That's spooky. But, Stew? And
Stew.
And then we... Will we be bringing Master with us?
We will probably be bringing part of your master with us, although we could bring all of him, I suppose.
Then...
Technically, we only probably need to bring his head.
I like your let's call it learned utilitarian bits of more of a. Let's skip the heavy bits if we don't need them.
I saw. Master Garland can do the thing where he wakes them up again. We can bring Master to Master Garland.
And who is Master Garland?
He's Master's master.
The one that lives in the big city?
No.
Well,
in
lives
caves.
under the
He
big
lives
city.
in caves. Yes. Been there. Twice. But if we bring Master to Master Garland, the Master Garland can wake Master up.
Well, I guess that means that we'll be bringing Master with us then.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else we need to bring with us?
No, he ran away.
And what way did he run?
Down the south, I think. So she's gonna indicate with her head, just that way sun rises, that way sun sets, that way the guy ran.
Got it.
It's basically...
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be too much of a problem.
Okay. But then we can wake Master up again. Yay.
Yes. I'm just going to go get the mules and the cart inside, and I'll leave you all with Oren and Craren. And we'll probably be spending the night here, and then we'll move on in the morning.
One of the mules is strange. I like it.
Do you know, perchance, if this person knows true resurrection or not?
I will relay that question. To the top.
This is player question to DM.
Okay.
You don't know?
No, just saying there, just pondering if we need to bring the whole person or not.
You don't know?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you.
I'd say, no, you don't know?
And that's entirely fair. That's entirely fair. Figured I had to ask, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, the dog says the guy can wake someone up. You gather's probably not revivify. But
because resurrection does not restore body parts, and true resurrection does.
Yeah. True resurrection is also a really advanced cleric spell. Like,
he can also just be a necromancer waking dead people up.
That's also true.
I mean, no. Revivify only works if the body has been dead for less than a minute.
Yeah, resurrection works. Actually, Craren, if the information is relayed, you gather is probably resurrection. because true resurrection is very advanced and very few clerics in the world would know it. Revivify, like you said, only works within a minute. And if someone was brought in to be woken up, as Sasha described it, it's probably not Revivify. So either raise dead or resurrection.
Yes.
I will, of course, relay everything as I'm trying to talk to people.
Yep. So you gather either raise dead or resurrection.
That's a really good point. Do we think speak with animals is like Dr. Dolittle, where I say everything out loud in common, and they reply to me in a voice that I perceive as common, and everyone else perceives as barking, growling, and various other bits and pieces? Or do we think it's more like I'm standing there making weird growling and barking noises, and no one else can understand what I am saying?
I see your point.
Yeah. For me, I've always seen it more like Dr. Dolittle, because it's speak with animals. It's not make yourself understood by animals.
Yes. Okay. I just thought I'd clarify that point, because I was just mildly worried that I
suppose it's up to the flavour you want to give it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what Dr. Dolittle makes more sense, because then you don't have to sit there and go, oh, yes, no, I'm relaying all of this information. It's just a one-sided conversation that everyone else can hear.
Yeah.
Unless there's something really important. I then say, really? You can resurrect the dead? And it's like, what? That can resurrect the dead?
The dog has true resurrection? What?
Yes.
Okay. But no, yeah, because that angle speak with animals as in you're making them understand you specifically.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I like that. Because that puts a lot of other things in perspective that, within the whole realm of D&D. I like that. Yeah. Thank you.
That's basically how I've been seeing it, because it makes more sense. Then again, I've also seen the speak with aquatic creatures, or whatever it's called, speak with fishes, I don't remember what it is, being used as the druid shoving his whole head underwater and going blah, 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 blah.
It brings a whole new weird meaning to the, like, there's a walk that speak with plants as well, isn't it? So it's like... Yeah. You just sit there and make weird swishy sound noises. It's like,
basically.
All the time, or something like that. Which wasn't.
Can you imagine if it's something very abstract and you just set to like scream? That's the plant's language.
Or do you make the noise of fingernails over chalkboards as if you're scratching through the bark, and everyone else is just like, and the tree's like, exactly.
Alternatively, you could grab one of the roots and then like, man, I put it to your head and be like, hello.
Consent, no touching, bad touch.
Anyway, sorry, I digress.
Yes. So, while you were outside, you also would have noticed that the sky had started to turn those many colors of sunset, and you could see clouds rolling in overhead, indicating that it's probably have maybe an hour and a half until sunset.
Are we staying here the night, guys?
Well, it seems like the most practical. If we get the mules inside, I can...
Yeah, why don't we move some of these bodies into one of the cave areas and sleep in the other?
Well, I was going to move them over to where the cages were.
Yeah.
Over here.
Makes sense.
So, are we bringing the guy with us later? Question mark.
Oh, what, the Declan, the high priest thing?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I think so.
At which point, Craren needs to prepare something.
Craren, question.
Yes, Soren?
Little
Yes.
question. If this doggo's master's master has something a little bit more revivify than what you can do,
Yeah.
how long do you reckon that corpse could be dead and still be woken up?
Normally, say, less than a century.
And how long's it gonna take us to get to this place?
Less than
While
a
a
century.
century isn't a hindrance for two of us, it might pose a bit of a challenge for the rest of the crew.
I know, I was just... Yeah. Shit. Well, if it was less than a week, say, we could put the body in the door? You get me?
I mean,
If it's a
yeah.
century, then that's a bit of a problem.
Let's
Just
just
outside the door.
Okay, so how far away would you? What are you doing, DM? You're spinning around like there's no tomorrow.
I couldn't get closer on the chair, and I realized I'd run over my my sweater with the chair. So. So from where you're at right now, you're about, say, a day and a half from Thrakelorn, and from Thrakelorn it's a week to the Great Crag.
How far away is resurrection, time-wise? If we chose to do that, choose to even.
So if you choose to resurrect this guy, you have about 99 years.
Well, yes. I'm just of the opinion that decaying corpses are annoying.
Oh yeah, no, it's cold in where you're at right now.
Gentle repose will last for 10 days.
Yes, so you can, unless you stay in Thrakelorn for too long, you can get to the Great Crag within 10 days.
Excellent.
So it would be like 8 days unless you stay in the city for longer.
The downside is that we can't keep the fucker inside the door. With the door would be, the space inside would remain stationary while we move around. But that means that it will take 8 days times 8, so 64 days, and at which point it will be a rotten bit.
Yep.
And we need to clean out the place again, and that's annoying. So we need to keep the fucker on the cart.
It can go next to the hobgoblin head.
If and when this guy does get resurrected, we should put some fake vampire teeth in and pretend that he's a vampire or something and really give him a heart attack.
I mean,
He doesn't like vampires.
The question would be, if Flo were to bite him before he was resurrected, would he come back as a werewolf?
Now we're splitting hairs. Now we're really splitting hairs.
It's worth a try, because the DM doesn't know. Technically, if you're a lycanthrope before you die, you will still be one if you're resurrected. I don't know if the curse takes hold if you're dead.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. but don't know.
Is it the
Well,
transfer
I
of
think
saliva
the
into the
problem is
bloodstream that is the main driver of turning someone into a lycanthrope?
Yeah, lycanthropy is like rabies. Clearly.
Yeah. So it would be saliva into the bloodstream. It also kind of requires that you have an actual blood
Heartbeat?
circulation.
So if we were to theoretically fill a glass bead with saliva and place it under his skin in a form of weird macabre surgery, he gets resurrected almost to be, say, punched where the glass bead is. Once he's up, we would transfer the curse into his bloodstream. Anyway, sorry, I am getting to levels of torture I did not quite think I would be discussing on a D&D game.
These are very creative.
I mean, or you can just bite him after he's resurrected.
That too, but what you could do is you could plant said glass bead on his arse cheek so that when he sits down, he's infected. And he will be none the wiser where he got it from.
In the toilet seat.
Question: Are we like giving each other plans here? Are we talking out loud?
I think this is more of a player-based conversation rather
Yes.
than a
So,
character-based conversation.
in the interest of exploring lycanthropy as a curse, I don't know. In the interest of weird and unusual punishments, I also don't know. Personally, I would think would be very funny if one of the head honchos of the Pure Flame doesn't know that he has been turned into a werewolf and goes absolutely apeshit during the full moon in their headquarters.
Yes. Well, we've got plenty of time on the road to continue planning.
Yeah.
Is it transmitted with bodily fluids?
Saliva, specifically.
Did you
Are
say
they
saliva
saliva?
specifically?
Yes.
As such, one with the saliva, let's call it that, could just drool into this person's mouth.
God. But just baby bird it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, you could probably just inject some saliva into his veins now, and then when he wakes up, it will
No, more of
activate it.
do you have a syringe?
No, but I'm sure we can fashion one out of a straw.
And blow smoke up to...
Warren probably has something that they could use for just that
And,
purpose.
In the interest of things I have thought way too long and hard about, I'm also going to say that just drizzling saliva into someone else's mouth is not going to transfer it. Because then a lot of fan fiction writers going to be very sad. But
Like, I feel you being a bit narrow-minded here.
I would say that it's the biting motion combined with the saliva that causes it.
That's fair.
I am still not sure if you're talking in character or in.
No, this is basically. I hope this is player discussion, which is kind of like.
Yes, and another player discussion is that in the event that the asshole at the other end does not know resurrection and only knows animate dead or raise dead for that matter, it's 10 days. At which point, this party needs to get a move on.
Yeah. Off we go.
Into the
Are we gonna-
wild blue yonder.
You have
I think
to
it's-
sleep first because I am out of hit points. I'm out of spell slots and on 7 hit points or something.
We're
I
having
mean,
a
you can sleep on the
sleepover.
wagon.
Excellent.
All right. Well,
Yes, Tony. Exactly. Sorry.
Yes. All right. The cart will barely fit into the caves.
That's fine. I just kind of want to make sure it's in, and therefore it's like hidden to a certain extent.
You can
And
absolutely
then
do that.
Remus will carry all of the relevant corpses to the relevant new hidey hole where the corpses can be.
All right. You wanted to take them
Note
to
how
the...
Craren didn't take any huts or other spells that could have housed us in a number of other places, but we have a cave now. So that's fine, I guess.
but under no circumstances have you ever cast one of those spells in Remus's presence. Therefore, he does not know that you may have taken the tiny hut spell.
No. Craren didn't. I actively chose not to. It's one of those. I have 3 utilitarian spells, and it's that I was choosing from, and DM basically said, yeah, but only one of them is something Craren would actually use. But yeah, point.
Yeah.
Besides, we've got a pile of doggos to act as additional sentries tonight, providing none of them decide to run off.
Yep. I put Declan in the hallway thing, indicating that, because I know you were talking about putting me on the cart.
Yeah.
And all right. So you are currently surrounded by 6 doggos, a huge pile of crates and barrels, 1 bedroll, unless you want to grab some from the other cave. You have your own. And you have a rather substantial stack of notebooks.
Excellent.
Yes.
The caves, you can almost feel when the sun finally sets, as the final beams or rays of sunlight die. And your fire is basically the only thing giving you any form of light in these caves.
Oh no. How did I lost?
Remus would have carried on going through all of the crates and stuff.
Yep.
Loading up any relevant provisions Oren indicates he would like us to take, as
All right.
Oren is our chef.
Yep. So
Yeah, he'd suggest we keep it all. Like
Yep.
anything edible, we keep. Oren can make it work.
Yep. So I'll load as much stuff as he can onto the cart. He collected all of the silver stuff that they had on them, didn't they?
I believe we did.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I
Yep.
believe you guys did.
Yes.
Yes.
Romulus found loads of money. Forgot about that. I don't think I added to your character sheet. He'll put on his new boots to play around with those at some point. Yeah, any of the weapons and non-perishable stuff will go inside the door. He'll prop the door open, take the crates down so that they're inside that little area in the door.
Yeah.
Yep.
In our little hidey hole. And generally try to make the place a little bit more homely. Gather up the spare bedrolls and stuff. Or more, what they'll do is they'll bring it in and chuck it at Oren so that Oren could make the place a little bit more homely.
All right.
Yeah, Oren gets to nesting. He nests.
Yes, nests. So you create a rather comparatively comfortable space to sleep in. There's no wind or rain or snow falling on you. The fire and Craren's cube of heating or thermal cube is providing warmth. The dogs are providing warmth.
Have we brought the horses in as well?
That is up to you if you did. Well, yeah, then they will be basically down by the creek going
By the
through
cart.
the...
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to move everyone inside. Just to indicate where everyone is. That guy fucked off. And these three are basically the cart. Alright.
Excellent.
It is kind of cramped at the entrance of the caves. But
You don't say.
you
It
doing
happens.
your regular watch
Of course.
pattern, or alright?
Is that even a
Yeah.
question?
I mean, you changed it up when you were camping, so Flow and
Not
then-
really.
Flo and then Oren and then
Nah, I
Hmm.
mean, we didn't change it. Someone wanted
yeah,
to be
Flo
a
just
part of it
requested.
for infiltration purposes, but that's a different story.
oh yeah, Flo, you got a ring as well.
Yeah, Ring of Featherfall, but
Yep.
I guess I didn't find the dude. I started selling
yes,
for the
sorry.
guy.
Yes. Give me a perception check, scent based.
Tent-based.
Scent based.
The ring smell? I know.
No, finding the guy,
spider-
the dog handler.
Oh, I was like, this makes no sense. I'm sniffing out golden
No.
rings now.
You follow his scent to the water. And you can follow it a little bit, because contrary to popular belief, the scent kind of stays on water. But after a while, the water flow becomes a lot more, and you find so many other scents that keep like covering it. Even though it was relatively recent, it kind of gets all mixed up, and you lose track after about, let's say, about 500 feet. You lose track of where he went.
Oh, itchy.
Yeah, I guess she would be a little bit snotty as well since she's been crying
Yeah.
on. Poor Romulus being like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry."
All right.
Horrible fur.
It's okay. It's okay.
And she
Crab-
will still be like that when she comes inside, being like,
Uh,
"Remus hates me."
He doesn't hate you. You're fine. You're okay.
All right. Oren and Craren, could each of you please roll me a D100?
I can.
Do you want me to actually roll it as well?
Yes, please.
I was like, yes, I'm perfectly capable. That's
I
not
rolled
what
a
you asked.
40.
All right.
And a 54.
I have concerns.
I would have concerns. But for some reason,
All right. This is so fitting. Oren, as you take your watch surrounded by resting party members and dogs, the snuffling of the mules and horses, the quiet of the caves other than the sounds you recognize, and suddenly you hear this whistling sound, like a high, almost imperceptible noise. And it goes louder and louder and louder until it stops. And then the whole ground just shakes around you. The cave, like pebbles start falling from the cave ceiling. And the caves just shake. And then it stops again.
The
The
bloody hell
dogs-
was that?
The dogs look up and just look around, and you see Neil, who's right next to you, look up at you, and then starts wagging his tail.
I don't suppose you know what that was. He's gonna sort of wander over to wherever Neil is and just pat him on the head.
Yeah, he's just, no. Looking like, hey,
Oh.
you're awake.
Yeah, I'm awake.
But
Oh dear. Yeah,
Um,
so he's gonna sort of try and puzzle out what the bloody hell that was, I think.
all right. Give me a nature or history check.
Let's see which is better. Which noggin? Scrolly. Oren. They're both the same, so I'll just roll nature. He rolled a 6.
Figure that something heavy hit the ground, and that's about all you can figure out right now. It's a little bit hard to discern as you're in the cave and you don't really
Yeah.
know what's happening.
Wait, the dog reacted to it?
The other than Neil, the dogs just looked up for a moment and then went back to rest. Neil was like, "Oh, you're awake."
Okay. I was just like, how high was this sound?
Do any of us wake up from the shaking? Or...
If any one of you
For the
have a
sound?
passive perception over 15.
Okay, no.
Where the fuck is my passive perception?
And now you make me bring up the
Your character
sheet again. I
yes.
had it on the left because there was nothing of interest there, and I was like, I had to click it away to get the dice.
Flo, you would have heard the whistling sound, and it would have woken you up, and then the whole cave just shook for a few seconds, and a pebble probably hit you square in the face as it fell from the ceiling.
I would imagine her just sitting up, like very fast, like a dog when you hear the whistle, and you can just see her twitch a little bit, like, and then you're just like, oh.
Yeah, what do you reckon that was? That was weird.
I thought you were whistling, and she just like rubs her eyes a little bit. You can tell she's very tired. But
I mean, if I'm gonna whistle, I'm gonna whistle a tune. I'm not gonna do that to your ears. Gods. That was awful.
Does she have any idea what that was?
I'd say give me a nature or history check with disadvantage because you are sleep drunk.
Disadvantage.
Tired.
History?
History or nature.
Joy.
Yeah.
That's a 2.
It was loud, and it shook the ground, and that's about it.
Well, I hope no one chucked a dog pole at us.
You know, like in when you talk to someone and they're like totally gone.
Yep.
She just looks at Oren like that, and then just fall behind and you just see her like go back to sleep.
Just good plan.
Yeah. As this happens towards the end of your watch, the last hour or so, it's uneventful. Other than Neil trying to just every time you pass by, his head pops up and just play.
Yeah, I think while Oren's doing his watch, he's He doesn't have a ball, but I think he's got like a large bone that he's sort of tossing for Neil.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of playing a little bit of fetch, down one of the corridors.
Yeah. All right.
Try and tire him out.
All right, Craren, with your role as you're going through your watch.
I mean, considering he's keeping an eye out first.
Yeah, I did it in the
Yeah.
wrong order. That's on me. But yes, as you're keeping your watch, you. During like your entire watch, Leo, the dog, is following you the entire time, just like half a step behind you, and every time you turn around, he's just right there going. As if you're the answer to all questions in the universe.
The new master.
And just your entire watch, Leo is just following you. If you sit down, he sits down next to you. If you walk, he's half a step behind you. If you when you turn around, he's right there.
Craren seems to have acquired a tail.
Yes, very much so. But other than the shaking of the cave towards the end of Oren's watch would be early morning. The night passes uneventfully. And you all wake up having gotten a long rest.
Oh yay, we all wake up. That's
yes,
nice.
You all wake up. Surprise.
Oren would tell the others about what happened in the night once they were awake. But he didn't feel that it was an idea to wake them up beforehand. It wasn't in the cave, it was above it, so...
Yep. And you all prepare to set out towards... where are you going? Thrakelorn, or heading directly for the crag, or...
I have no idea how the map even looks like, so do
Alright, let me bring you to the map.
inform me, please.
I'm gonna bring all of you to the
Because right now we're in a black place.
Yes. So
Now we're on the map.
you're on the map. You are basically hello, let me move the pointer thing. Basically there. So to Thrakelorn from where you're at right now, if you follow it can generously be called a road. It's not that paved road you saw earlier, but it's a well-trodden path. If you follow that one, it will take you a day and a half, depending on weather, to get to Thrakelorn, which is the capital of this region. From Thrakelorn, it is roughly 7 days to the Great Crag. Let me show stream. Hello? Why? No, I lost the map. I don't really know why. But yes. You have been invited to the Great Crag by Sorakatra. And you have been highly encouraged to go there by Durin.
And it was where
Willow.
Willow.
Wrong
Close.
sector
Okay.
creature.
Close bounty is also in the Great Crag.
Yes. Well, it seems that we need to generally go in that general direction. We might as well move towards Thrakelorn, offload as much shit as we can get rid of,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
carry on to the crag.
All right. So
Plus Durin's going there first, and one of the sisters were there.
yeah, you have heard that one of the sisters was in Thrakelorn. Durin doesn't know this. He went to report to try and get in contact with her. So unless you told him that she is in Thrakelorn, he wouldn't know. You also know that there, from the note that you found, that the lord of this region, Drulkantar, is in league with the Lords of Dust.
In cahoots.
Yes.
And does he use Thrakelorn as his...
That's the capital of this area, so that's where he lives.
Yeah. Did Krarin and or Oren read more of the papers last night?
Aaron probably would have given it a shot.
All right.
Read what papers?
So you found a large stack of notes, notebooks, papers, and
Those things.
yes. So and basically diaries or journals. Well, Oren.
Oh, yeah, if those are journals, Oren is a nosy little shit, so yes.
All right. Oren, give me a investigation check.
Investigation, huh?
Yes.
Let me have a look. Where is Oren's character sheet?
Depending on how you roll, that tells you how much information you glean with a quick perusal. You will get something,
I have a
but...
Ooh, that's an 8.
All right. So, quickly flipping through the first journal you find, you realize it's a pretty old one. And you realize that, quickly comparing, like it looks like it's in a hand you don't recognize. And comparing it to the others you found, it's not the same writer. And so this one has just flipping through a few pages. One thing stands out to you really quick. The others don't seem too interested, but it says in this strange handwriting that you don't recognize, it says 18 Baracas 991 YK, which is 7 years previously.
Okay.
I can send this to you unless you want me to read it out for you.
Let's see. Where have sent?
I have not sent yet. I will send. Copy. And I'm gonna send this. I'm actually gonna send this in your notes thing so you have it.
Notes thing?
18.
Notes of Mourning channel. Disc of the O, Dawn.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So on the Discord,
Ah.
if it allows me to send that much text, I will send it so you guys all have it to look at later. But yes,
18 Baracus 991 YK. Rumors of destructive and dark dealings have long surrounded the former king of Carnis, Caius Irwinan 1. Is that correct?
yeah, it's a king, so it would be Caius Irwinan the First.
Yeah, the first.
Yeah.
The first. But up until a fortnight ago, I paid no heed to the gossip of the drunkards and fleshmongers. I have since changed my stance on this, as new evidence has come to light. One of our flock, Acolyte Verrill, returned from a mission in court, visibly shaken from what he had experienced. Weakness of mind aside, what Verrill told me chilled even my unspoiled soul. Everyone knows that Caius the First died in 910 YK. After having led the nation into the vile use of their own dead troops to bolster their ranks in a war he himself had instigated by refusing his sister her rightful place as Queen of Galifar. What Verrill found is that the current ruler of Carnath is in fact not Caius III, but that of the very first king of Carnath. I did not believe such ludicrous accusations and threatened to throw Verrill out of the Silver Flame for the mere thought, but ever the reliable faithful, Verrill showed me proof. Proof that... Ouch, get off me, cat. Proof that Caius Warren I had made an unspeakable pact with the blood of Vol to turn him into the most insidious... Get your foot out of my mouth. Insidious and wretched monster known as a vampire. For fear of heretics, even among our ranks, I have hidden the dossier Verrill brought to me. It lies with the most holy in Flamekeep. May her light burn the corrupt darkness from our world and hearts. Well, that's not cricket.
Those footnotes are really interesting.
Cat, can we please keep our paws out of my mouth? Please?
Is this the next stage?
No, the cat heard me talking, and if I'm talking for too long, he likes to stick his paws in my face.
Like, shut up.
Alright. You find
No,
that
like,
note,
attention.
and well,
Just no.
most others seem to follow basically the same kind of pattern in writing. None really stand out. And yeah.
Yes. So he would tell them in the morning that, you know,
I can't
such
hear
and such
science
is a
people anymore.
vampire.
That's
Apparently.
weird.
I can.
And you can see
can see it
Flo
blink.
shiver. She is not a big fan of
Finger blinks on my
vampires.
end. Probably. Anyway, alright.
Vampire, you
Does
say,
Oren
or
know of vampires? Like, does he know any? Is
My
he?
hearing is weird. Alright, Oren.
Yes.
but yes, a vampire, you say.
Hello?
Interesting. Yes, we hear you.
I can't hear any
You've
one
lost.
of you. Why?
I don't know, but they're definitely saying something.
Discord is discording.
Hello?
There
Can
we
you hear us
go.
now?
Has Adana gone deaf? There she is.
No, my
Well, she pulled the
entire
button on the side. There must be a button on the side because you press something on the side.
yeah.
It
So I have a mute button on my keyboard apparently,
Oh no, get off my laptop.
and I muted my entire system. Couldn't hear shit. All right.
Mute. Okay.
Oh, I deafened myself.
Yes.
Because I couldn't hear anything. It's like, what the?
So let's pick up to where you didn't hear us. So, a vampire, you say, Oren?
Yeah, they're vampire. Yeah, he's a vampire. What does Oren know of vampires, Adana?
There is general folklore about vampires that most people would know. Like there are, they can't walk in sunlight, they can't come in if invited, and a stake through the heart is generally bad for them, as with most living or undead creatures. A stake through the heart tends to kill them or immobilize
Find
them.
that rumor you gave me too.
But
I mean, if anything, Craren would happily inform Oren about vampires.
Yeah. Oren also, I think, I'm looking at my notes here, has some background information on this. This is not information that is new to him.
Good, because Craren would have described it as, just pointing, fingers next to his mouth, going, fangs doing the sucky.
Well, don't threaten me with a good time. But I think I actually knew about this king. Well, there was a rumor that he was a vampire turned by a lich, so I'm not surprised by this writing. I'd like to see the actual proof, but it's interesting. That's for sure.
I'm going to assume that if you have this prior knowledge, that it wouldn't be that far-fetched if I say that it's quite plausibly accurate.
I'd say so.
Let's say so. Let's assume it is.
Do you know for sure?
Maybe.
Okay. That could be a bargaining chip at some point, that's all.
It helps. It does.
Yeah. Especially if we got that proof. Sorry, go ahead, Ardana.
No, I just say that Oren would also be intimately familiar with at least one type of vampire's abilities.
Oh, right.
As it was the first.
The sucky suck?
Yeah.
No, the getting killed by bats bit.
Yes,
The dentist?
that bit.
Not the fun part.
But the feral creature under Patraken that caused Oren's death.
The vampire spawn.
Yeah. So yeah, to Craren, so is there a difference between the thing that killed me, well, helped kill me, and this vampire fella, king, guy, Craren?
On a scale of cutting you a new asshole and the thing that killed you, yes, there's a difference. As in, let's just make it into a wheel, a circular argument, if you wish. If you start at the beginning, you're halfway, you're getting into vampirehood area type thing, and then you're halfway there. At that point, you would be considered, vampire, the being able to make other people into vampire, and then you have vampire lords, and then eventually in the hierarchy of things, you can have, nobilities and things of the sort. If you're into the nobility end of things, let's not even go there.
And that's what he is? Nobility?
Nobility, not necessarily among vampires, but you can be a king of a nation and do things. Yes, naturally, but not among vampires in that sense. No, vampire though, still nasty.
Vampire.
Yes,
Nasty. Got it.
puncture wounds, doing things, and then the sun does weird things to you. Nasty affliction.
The sun already does weird things to me.
Yes, but you don't burn.
Not as quickly as a vampire.
You don't combust in sunlight.
No, I just go very, very fucking pink.
And that's in a very adorable shade.
Well, thank you for saying.
Sure.
Now, while all of this is happening, what do you do? What do the rest of the weirdos in this group do?
Flo, what are you doing? Well, they're talking about vampires.
Hello.
Lillith?
Lillith.
Hello.
The rest of the guys?
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you.
No.
No.
Lillith rages at technology.
Rage against the
Oh,
machine.
yeah.
All right.
No.
Oh, no.
Still muted.
We see you. I'm going to assume that you hear us.
She got it.
Hello.
How about now?
We
Yay!
Yay!
And Remus
Yep, I
is
will
now a
back.
Freemasonry symbol, and now it's back.
I was so weirded out because I'm still having like a little bit of music, and music was playing, and then every one of you was quiet, and I was like, it's weird that everyone just turned quiet, and I went over to Discord and I saw all your mouths moving, and then
Yeah.
talk, and I was like,
Well, I'm hoping you didn't see my mouth move.
Yeah, and because on the stream, considering Craren is talking to Oren, there's no camera, so there's no indication of people actually talking.
but it was dead quiet, and I was just like listening to music, like, yeah, but it was like, why has no one said anything?
So there was a lengthy discussion of vampires and things of the sort, and the pros and cons of that, and that happened. So after that lengthy discussion, there's me player was so what is the rest of the Brady Bunch doing while we are having this discussion of vampires? And then we didn't hear you, and you
Yes.
didn't hear us.
Okay, so if you've been talking about vampires, you can see Flo, like, you know when a dog is like frizzing up a little bit?
Mm.
Like, you can tell that she's like not happy. You can tell she is not a big fan of vampires. And if you know about vampires, you could also know that blood hunters and vampires do not get along. So you can just tell that she's like, mm-mm.
Ron's also not a big fan of vampires, considering one bit him and was the result of his untimely demise.
Yeah, but no one has told Flo about this.
This is true.
Not specific circumstances. No.
Down. But you never said how he went down. You're like, oh, he died before. And she's like, okay.
I mean, something has been done. What?
Oren's gone down quite a few times.
After like hearing about the vampires, you can see Flo looking over to Remus. And you can see her ears still a little bit droopy and her tail a little bit between her legs, and she like walks very slowly up. I'm very sorry for biting your brother. I didn't really mean to.
I'm not angry at you, Flo. You were protecting him, and you were putting him out of the fire that I caused. I am just a little bit frustrated that he, to use a phrase, jumping from the frying pan and into the fire. Until last week, he was carrying around a demon-cursed sword that had got him into such trouble that he was arrested and imprisoned for murder. Now he's a werewolf, having just pledged himself to the Blood Hunters of Drome, and having also agreed, or at least in part, suggested he would like to help a fey creature of the Crossroads, who you weren't around for at the time, but that was about 3 weeks ago. Like, I am a bit annoyed that, and he's just offloading all onto you, Flo. and he's getting slowly louder and louder.
You can just tell
Like-
that their ears are drippier and drippier as they get louder and louder. She's
Now,
like, okay.
I deserted comrades because my brother needed my help. And I am probably in a lot of trouble for that. And I'm sure at some point it will come to bite us all on the arse. But in the meantime, well, yes, although I wouldn't want Flo to bite me on the arse. Anyway, and it,
By doing the house.
no, it's fine. I'm just frustrated. And Elos is probably sitting off to one side, like rubbing his belly.
well, I was going
Yum,
to
yum,
ask,
yum, 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 yum.
did you have Elos leave the shackles?
Yes.
Yes.
He left
Yes,
them on one of
Because
the...
I knew that you had him shrink the shackles, but I wasn't sure if you had him leave them.
Yes, because he went and hid behind Flo because he was going to try and possess one of the cages,
Yes.
but we realised it was a magical cage, so he couldn't, because it's a magic item, he couldn't
Yeah.
possess it.
So Elos basically just, as soon as you say frustrated, you see him perk up, just, and then slowly move forward. You know, like how a kid would do if you set out a bowl of candy, but you haven't said they can't touch it. Just. After a while, Remus, you start feeling a lot better.
Yes. And he looks around for the little white ferret.
And you would find you would find Elos basically just on top of one of the crates, just do that again.
So Flo is, after he unloaded everything on her, she's actually just gonna... You can see her ears going a little bit more up. And she walks over to Remus and she actually hugs him.
Stands there really, really awkwardly. And then he realizes what Elos is doing. And he starts turning towards where Elos is. And Elos gets this extra boost of frustration because he doesn't quite feel like it's a good idea to kind of disengage from this hug and come over and try to kick Elos, which is what he really, really wants to do right now.
You just see, all of you would just see Elos just look up for a moment and then just tilt, fall to the side, like a total food coma. Just
Is this an Elos moment? Was that as good for you as it was for me?
You know how, but if you've had a really good meal and you just want to sleep it off,
Yes.
but you could probably
Oh, me
fit
after
that one
sushi.
more bite. Elosin is in that state of after that one more bite, where it's, if I move now, all of it is gonna come back up again.
So me with
Oh,
sushi.
goodness.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So he's
Sushi.
basically laying on his side on top of a crate, just.
I mean, yes. We're
I forgot to
Sorry, I
mention
needed to kill a spider.
the chest weasel we're talking about was created by Pointy Hat, and it feeds on frustration. Yes. So you I lost my train of thought. All right. So you pack up your things. You have 6 dogs and 2 extra horses now that you need somehow arrange in various
Well, my
ways.
thought was we hook the horses up to the cart and then lash the mules to the back.
I was
Alright,
going to see
yeah.
whether there was any saddles or anything like that around at all for the horses.
We're also turning into a fucking caravan.
Yeah, no, there are no saddles for the horses, no. They seem to have been some form of... You do find saddle, like, bags that you can put on the horses, but no real, like, riding equipment around. I see cat ears.
They were probably pack horses, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Alternatively, we put the mules on the cart and, hook the mules up to the cart and have the horses with their saddle bags, basically, their pack bags, trail along behind.
Flo would have like followed everyone outside, but when she sees Craren and maybe Oren together,
Mhm.
she will like walk up very like a little bit timidly. Could I
You alright?
maybe have a word?
Yeah? Sure.
Which word do you want? A long one or a short one?
Well, like everyone heard, I never let anyone, or they didn't let anyone live after I bitten them because, well, people are a little bit worried about what kind of like lycanthropy, because I was a little bit
Different?
wild.
Yeah.
I mean, you can imagine a very small child turning into a werewolf biting people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Go on.
I don't remember the changes when I was small myself, because we kind of go berserk and she looks around at all the animals. And you can see her ears drooping a little bit. I'm worried if we don't get to Jaffe in time before the full moon. I feel really bad for Romulus.
Well,
Because he seems really nice, and I really didn't mean to bite him.
hey. No
If
more
we
tears
have-
over this, alright? Nobody
If-
here blames you.
And if we have to unalive him, we do.
And you can see her ears in shock.
Well, before we resort to unaliving him, Craren, and Oren's going to put a hand on his arm, just know. We've got 2 horses there now. They're probably a little bit faster than the mules because they don't necessarily have to carry a lot of stuff. If the worst were to happen and we were gonna, take a little while longer, we send you 2 off as fast as possible on them, and we catch up. It's simple.
I mean that's fair, but I'm also worried that the silver hands are under the city. That's even more of a worry, especially when you
Wow.
bring in new bloods. And
Well, we'll deal with that when we get there.
and as you heard, I'm not a part of the Blood Hunters anymore.
As such,
sorry.
you are yourself, and you, as such, don't fall under their restrictions.
Yep.
You can do your own deal. You can have your own family in your own way, and
But
I feel that's a positive.
I mean, I still have to follow some of the rules, like no biting, and I'm lucky that Durin was the one who found me first, because and you can see her just her whole demeanor being like, if like Jaffe or someone else have found out, I would have not been in a great place. But it's because of
we
the
just got him
rules.
for you.
No, I know it sounds very weird, but it would be because I deserve it, because I promised not to bite anyone.
Well, sometimes situations change. You get me? You didn't mean to bite him. And you saved his life. So, if they can't take that into consideration, then they're not worth having as friends or allies.
I really respect Durin because he raised me, and Yaffe helped a lot.
Yeah.
He's very, very strict though. But
I hate him already.
I'm going to assume that he's strict for a good reason.
Well, he was one of the ones who had to, and you, Craren, would see, like, you would have seen the memory of basically her biting the hand as a small child, and just remember, this is how Yaffe was, and he was like, no, you have to learn to control this. He was strict that way. He wasn't like beating her or anything. He was like, no, you have to control this. So he wasn't like a bad person. He just wanted her to learn fast. Like during that, like you have to learn fast to survive.
Live fast, die hard.
Yes. and well, everyone is usually like a family. We're a pack.
Yeah.
And now that I'm not part of the pack, and you can see her like a little bit sad again. But I found you guys, and you're kind of like a pack, and Romulus is kind of like a pack because he's kind of like me now.
Yeah, he is.
And Remus doesn't hate me. And Remus doesn't hate me, but I kind of get what he means with going into from the frying pan into the flames, and you can see that she's kind of struggling to do. Since
Oren's going to lean in and whisper in her ear. Just, I think he's just a little overwhelmed.
Well,
but don't tell him I said so.
Oh no. I get it. Like I've seen siblings before. We have siblings in our Blood Hunter clan. We have like two in the Raven ones. They're siblings, not twins but siblings. They're very nice.
Yeah.
Though they're really into shinies. But I think everyone there is into shinies.
Comes with the territory, I'm going to assume.
Oh.
Yeah. Birds are like that.
But it's very funny sometimes if you just find like a small shiny stone or something they really wanted.
Yeah.
Like even Durin sometimes gets a little distracted if he sees shiny things.
I will keep that in mind.
Like the first
Shiny
time,
math rocks.
like the first time he saw his cloak when he got it, he was really mesmerized.
Yeah,
It was a gift from my dad.
I like that.
Durin liked that too. And you can see that she kind of spaces out a little bit. Yeah, I think you like that too.
Yeah. So, are you
But
alright?
I guess I'm just worried about going back.
I gotcha.
I'm-
Well, whatever
I'm not
happens, we've
worried
got your
about
back.
me. I'm worried about Romulus because, well, I don't think he knows really what he's gotten himself into.
I'm sure he
I wish
doesn't.
I wish I could teach him myself, but I really think someone older and more wiser should.
Yeah, I getcha.
What does that mean? Older, wiser in this context.
Like Durin is an elf. He's been lycanthropy for a very long time. And he's very wise. Must be why he's gotten into like a commander now. He wasn't that last time I was home. And head of the police as well.
Interesting figure.
Oh, Rafi must be so mad that he's in the head of the police.
Yeah.
And then she realizes, yeah, he must be so mad because he's the head of the police. And she looks over to... She just looks over to Romulus being like, oh no, he must be so mad that he's the head of the police. And she just goes over to Romulus and basically like tries to get on his height and start patting him on the head, being like, I am so sorry.
Alright.
It's okay. It's okay.
And he has like no idea what's going on.
I have no idea what's happening, but it's okay. Whatever's wrong, it'll be okay.
You weird bleeders.
Oren's just going to go to Clara and just, I think she's alright.
Alright. Anyone...
Is this some form of lichen love version of things? I don't understand.
I mean, I ship it.
I mean, that's fair, but I feel it's like yeah, I'm way too much of an elf to. It's a bad. What's that one again? Is this some kind of poor people humor that I'm too rich to understand? But yes, that. But is this some kind of lichen version of love that I'm too elvish to understand?
I mean, probably I don't understand it myself, but nah, whatever floats their goat, I guess.
Yeah, floating goats. What?
Yeah, floating goats.
Whoever is keeping watch as you travel towards Thrakelorn, please give me a perception check.
What I would like to do as part of our travelling is I'd constantly like to be ritually casting speak with animals, basically having letting the dogs roam around as much as they want.
All right.
But still be able to communicate with them all.
All right.
Or as many of them as I can do. I'm kind of using them as additional support.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
Finding stuff.
Yep. If you want, you can then roll perception check with advantage, as you have the help of the dogs. I mean, not that you needed it, but
nice doggos.
Nice doggos. Well, with a 21, the day is still overcast and a little bit chilly. Like you have that cold wind coming back from time to time. It's a little bit strange because there's still no snow on the ground, and everything looks like dry and a little dead because winter. With a 21, but halfway through the day, you spot. Actually, I don't have any dice, separate dice. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Pacey would be Pacey. Suddenly whips his head around and looks northward. And following his gaze, Remus, you see up in the sky. First, you don't see it at first. You hear this crackling sound at first. And then you hear soft flapping of fabric. And then a high-pitched whining noise as whatever this is coming closer. And following it, you see this, like the crackling sound you heard turns out to be like blue lightning around a really huge vessel crossing overhead, and it takes you about 30 seconds or so to realize that you're watching an air galleon cross overhead, and it's still far off, but you can clearly see details because it's really, really big. It's flying maybe, I don't know how tall that would, but it's like, let's say 10 meters off the ground. And you can hear the crackling of the air elemental force that's keeping it aloft. And that flapping is from what you can tell are sails. It's hard to tell from this distance, but there's something on the main sail of this ship with kind of an odd figure on it. And you can see that there's something written on the side of it, probably the name of the ship, but you can't really see what it says. It's too far away. You can just tell it's like a different color. And it slowly passes overhead until eventually it moves beyond where you can see it. You can still hear that whining, crackling sound of the power that keeps it aloft, until eventually that also completely passes beyond your hearing.
Cool.
And
Not jealous at all.
I know, right? Who wouldn't want a flying ship? And you know. And you can tell the dogs are a bit agitated about the noise this thing was making, that high-pitched. I think Flo, with your actual wolf ears, would also find it a little bit irritating, that high
you can
whining
see like
noise.
her ears twitching, and you can see her basically just go like this and take her like like this, being like,
We need to sort out those ear defenders.
Yeah.
someone make it stop.
The sound is basically like that coil noise you can get sometimes, like electrical coil. It's just won't even pick it up. But
Yeah.
and then towards the end of the day, you do see on a hillside, like a little elevated off the rest of the plains around you, is this large wooden structure. Tall beams, like wooden beams, that are where did I put you? There you are. That seem to be supporting a stone brick wall around this hill. And maybe a couple of hours out, you realize that you probably have reached Thrakelorn, being this large stone wall, really high, but nearly 20 feet tall, 25 feet tall wall, and getting closer and closer. You realize that you can't really see a wall or a gate until you get, like, you follow the wall a bit south, and in the distance you see two really big individuals standing alongside what looks like this well-trodden dirt road that leads into a massive gate. And I shall put you on the map. I did not put 1,000,000 dogs and 2 horses on this map, so you're gonna have to deal without that.
Right.
And you see these two really big hulking individuals, both clad in an assortment of hide and metal, each wearing a enormous crossbow and a club. And you see a small line of people waiting outside as you approach.
Well, what's
We
all
don't
this
need
about?
passports.
What's a passport?
What do you mean? They've been out clubbing all night.
Yeah.
Funny!
Sorry, couldn't resist.
Oh no.
As you approach, you realize that the line of people that you see are all dressed in some form of what could generously be called hunting gear. And you have a collection of a couple of minotaurs, what looks like 3 centaurs, a tiefling, a couple of what looks like humans, all in like a group in front of these 2 very big individuals. Doesn't seem to be like a heated argument, just like almost like a banter back and forth, as if this hunting party is friends with these guards. So,
Hoodie up.
So
Shoes on.
Oren is gonna hop down and sort of actually, Oren, on coming into a city, is going to turn into Granny Stabs, first of all. And then he's going to hop down and sort of, as he's getting down off the cart, sort of wobble a little right himself, and slowly, somewhere he's picked up a small branch that he's using like a walking stick, sort of wander over, just Hello, dears. Hello, Tiny. And yeah. I think he's to the two large fellows. Just hello, Tiny and Pipsqueak.
You're funny. Are you lost, Grandma?
Lost? No. My traveling companions are seeking, and me, are seeking entrance into the town.
I mean, we're not gonna stop you. What you want? You here for hunting? You here for smashing? You here for fighting?
Well, the young fellows over there, probably a bit of the smashing and fighting, I guess. For me, I'm potentially selling some wares, but mostly we're just looking for a place to, rest our bones for a little while, partake of the atmosphere. Moving through, we may have some words with some people about a bit of business, that kind of thing.
Oh,
Nothing
business. Oh, Dick, please hold while I find my notes on Thrakelorn. Why do I have so... There it is. Well, if you're business, you're in a good time. Hunter's Gauntlet starts tomorrow.
Well,
We
that
found
works.
manticores you can fight.
Oh, goodness. That sounds terribly dangerous. Wait, manticores?
Yeah. Well, someone
Sounds a
found...
lot like my mother. I mean, what?
Someone found a ruin with 2 of them in there. You go in, you kill them, bring back their head, you get money. You go in, they kill you, you don't get money.
I like that logic.
Oh, we also need to... the boss said to warn you about the knight that wears a sheet. Don't try to lift the sheet. It's bad.
I generally don't lift sheets unless I'm in my own bed, dear.
That's smart.
Remus just
You
says
never
under
know
his
what
breath,
you
"Oh."
might see.
Remus says under his breath, "Or any bed." When-
So,
You cheeky little shit.
well, if you're...
Remus, I feel you judging.
He's in a very judgy mood today. And yesterday.
And the day before that. And the
Yeah.
day before
I mean-
that.
And tomorrow. And tomorrow.
Once
And the
more
day
onto
after
the bridge,
that,
my dear friends.
And the day after that.
Oh, if you hurry, you might have room. The inn's filling up. If you don't hurry, you sleep in the barn.
Well, then we'll hurry, I suppose.
Is that breakfast?
Yeah.
And he points to Sasha.
No, that's one of our dogs.
All right.
Thank you, Tiny. Pipsqueak.
That's Jorl. I'm Kren.
Joel and Kren.
Yeah.
Take care, you're doing a very good job.
Thank you. Well, go in, go up the hill. See all the colorful things. You go... You can just hear, like, trying to think. To sunset, you find the inn.
Thank you.
You sure that's not breakfast?
What was that?
You sure that's not breakfast?
Fairly sure, but here. And he's going to take out of one of his bags a leftover sort of griddle cake from breakfast.
Ah, nice.
Actually, probably two. Hand one to each of them.
Hey, Grandma gave food. Like Grandma. Bye-bye, Grandma.
Bye-bye, dears. Yeah, make a show of taking great effort to get back up onto the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flo will like give Grandma Stabby a hand.
All right.
Because she is not sure what's going on. Because she just saw Orin change into Grandma, and you can see Flo being like,
Yeah, you saw him literally changing clothes and everything on the way up, I think. And getting his makeup on and turning into Nana
you can
Knits.
just see like Flo's mind trying to comprehend.
Comperstand.
Yep. And as you pass inside the massive gates, you find a lot of people that have similar clothing to the group, talking to these two large creatures. And you can hear murmuring. Some of excitement, some of trepidation, boasting about the victories at hand. So welcome to Thrakelorn.
Yay!
Woo. The city itself is mostly grass, mud, and dirt roads. You see a bunch of like log cabins with stone shingle roofing, but also houses where they're made out of stone instead of wood, and just giving what you have seen passing through Droam, there's not a lot of trees. So most of the wood houses are probably settlers who came here, and then because fires are a thing, whatever house burnt down is probably replaced by a stone building. Because stone is a lot easier to get than wood in this area. The city itself seemed to be rising on this hill that you saw from a distance, while the area you came in is like the lowest point, and then the hill rises kind of sharply out of the surrounding area, and just like 10-15 minutes into walking through the city, you see this large collection of colorful tents in the middle of the city itself, and what looks like a small marketplace. And to the west of the marketplace, you find what looks like you find a decent sized stone building with what looks like large, like curved horns sticking out over the door, with a nailed on metal circlet, and from the horns hanging a sign that says Hunter's Crest Inn.
Well, dears, I guess this is our destination.
Nice. Very nice.
Question. Why is Orin an old lady?
As his go-to.
Oren likes to disguise himself when we come into town. He thinks it
Yes.
puts people on the other foot. This is nanny knits, sometimes
Yes, I know.
referred to as stabby knits.
Yes. I should have warned you before, dear. I forgot.
Can you teach me?
Yes. It's quite easy. Once we get a room, I'll do your makeup and make you look like someone else. How about that?
You can see her, like, her tag, like, tail wagging, and you can see, like, everything going, and then she realizes she still amongst people, and she's like, and then she, like, tucks her tail in between her foot.
Oren, as you say that, could you please give me a dexterity save?
Dex save? Yes. Oof. Let me find my character sheet again, because that is the thing. Dex save.
Alright.
That's an 18.
As you're
Dick save.
talking to Flo, you hear clumping sound, creaking, and then a slam as the front door of this inn slams open, and you have just enough time to step out of the way as a tiefling man comes flying by. And
Can Oren attempt to fall into his arms?
all right. Sure, with an 18, you have just enough time to support the toss, thrown man, the power of his kinetic energy. You have just enough time to brace against that. And
Yeah, he'll let out a very weak, wavering wail, like of surprise. Just, oh goodness.
And you're immediately assaulted by an extremely heavy scent of alcohol as this kind of green-colored tiefling looks at you. Well, he tries to look at you. He's probably seeing 6 of you. And God. And the rest of you in the door, you see this decent-sized individual, arms crossed across a white apron, and head cocked slightly, bit squashed nose, kind of furry all the way down. In a dark brown pattern. Her voice rings out and warned you before. Don't drink so much before coming in. Now stay out and sober up. Are you? And then she turns to the rest of you. And are you staying here? Can I help you?
Oh goodness. And he's going to stand himself up. As he stands up, he would like to try and pick this man's pocket.
All right. Give me a sleight of hand check with advantage because this guy is 16 sheets to the wind.
How do I do? I'll just roll
So it,
twice.
yes.
That's a 21.
Yeah, you
Nice.
have absolutely no problems. None whatsoever.
Yoink.
And you manage to get a coin purse, what looks like a dagger, and a handful of lint.
No pocket sand.
No, not pocket sand here, it's just lint. And with a mumbling, he just and slides down next to you.
Oh, he's a little fragrant, isn't he? And he's going to use the fellow that sat down to sort of help himself up, and just yes, we're after a room, dear. Possibly several if you've got them.
Oh, I'll have to check for you.
If not,
And she looks over to Craren and Orin.
they usually share a tent.
You're paying.
Yes.
If we have the room, I'll give you the room.
That's very astute of you, Flo.
And you can see her like a little bit happy because she's like, I know stuff. I know who is with who.
Oh, I'm Bailey. That's my tavern. Come on in.
Excellent.
Don't mind him.
Aaron
Someone
is
will
going
pick him
to
up.
Aaron is going to actually link arms with Flo, and pretend to use her as support as he hobbles in to the inn.
All right, and I think
At the same time, player
Hello, Granny.
observation, Lillith. You also know that you are pointing at Craren to be sleeping with Nana Nitz.
Yep.
Yes, I am quite aware.
Congratulations.
All right.
I mean,
No,
they can
Craren
tell
doesn't
that you're an elf. For all they know, you could have been sleeping with Granny Nitz since she was younger.
Not wrong.
I mean, yeah, there's that.
I think Lo would know that Bailey is a furbolg.
And so she would basically like just look at the innkeeper.
Mhm.
And you can see like the hoodie fall a little bit and one of her ears still sticking up. And you can see her, and I believe that they would see the tail go a little bit because she loves furry.
Creatures.
She's like, oh, it's a furbolg. It's like I know this thing. They're furry like me.
And yes,
Hey,
I think
I'm
So just imagine
Not
like a
here.
puppy that has
I
like
mean-
one ear up, and when the hoodie is like, so she just looks up and be like, "Yay!"
I mean,
precious
Craren
little
isn't here to
frog.
king shame.
And-
He wasn't aware that Flo was a fairy, but you know.
and I think we're gonna wrap it there.